And our first main topic today gets submitted to us by Aaron G., who writes, "Hey, John and Rob. I saw on James Gunn's Twitter over the weekend that the Red Band trailer for the Suicide Squad broke the all-time record for views in its first week. Do you think this indicates that Suicide Squad could be a much bigger hit than even Warner Brothers is expecting it to be? Or do you think it doesn't mean much? Thanks." All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Aaron. And yeah, look, when the whole drama was going on between Disney and James Gunn, this is of course going back a couple of years when like 10-year-old tweets of his resurfaced and Disney decided to part ways with him. He became a free agent. Every studio in the business started lining up and throwing offers at James Gunn's feet. James Gunn decided to go with Warner Brothers. They gave him his pick of the litter. What do you want to do? They even offered him Superman, Rob. They even offered him Superman if he wanted it. But he said, I want Suicide Squad. And so they gave him Suicide Squad, and I've been really excited and anxious to see it ever since. Then came DC Fandom. And that teaser they gave at Fandom, I couldn't have been more excited for. I thought it was great. And of course, just recently they put out a new Red Band trailer for it, and apparently it broke all kinds of records. This comes to us from James Gunn himself. He wrote this on his Twitter, and he says, "I just got word that the Suicide Squad Red Band trailer set a new record for most views of a Red Band trailer." Now remember, Red Band trailer, not any average trailer, but it set a brand new record for most views of a Red Band trailer in a week with over 150 million views worldwide. "I'm incredibly grateful to all of you for making this happen. Thank you." And that, of course, came to us from James Gunn on his Twitter account. Now, one of the interesting things about this is knowing which record did he break? I mean, whose record did he break? Well, the record had been held by another Warner Brothers property, Mortal Kombat. The Mortal Kombat trailer came out too long ago, so that didn't get to hold the record for all that long. Now, listen, 150 million views in the first week is not, let's say, Titanic when you compared it to non-Red Band trailers, but it is still a huge number. Especially, Rob, when you consider Suicide Squad is kind of it's like what Guardians of the Galaxy was before they made the movies out of them. Kind of amongst the general population, a much lesser known property with some much lesser known characters, couple of known ones, but much lesser known characters. For this to be able to come out and set those types of numbers, I think it suggests two things. Number one, I think there is more excitement for this property than I think a lot of people assume there would be, including me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Number two, I think it kind of speaks a little bit to people seeing that trailer and then telling other people they needed to see it. I love the King Shark stuff in it. I really, really did. Now, does this mean that, Suicide Squad is going to make $700 million at the box office? No, I still don't think that. I don't think it'll hit Deadpool numbers, but I do think this movie is going to be a hit. And I think it's going to be a big success. Now, of course, Rob, a lot of this will depend on how good is the movie. The trailer's great, but we've all seen many, many, many fantastic trailers to some really bad movies. So, but I mean, hey, if the movie can get on par with the trailer, this thing could be really successful. And I think the numbers show that there is a lot of interest in this particular movie. How much that'll translate directly to success, we'll have to wait and see. Rob, you saw this tweet from James Gunn. First of all, what do you think about it, like getting 150 million views for a Red Band trailer in its first week? And what do you think, if anything, that tells us about how much people are looking forward to the movie?
Well, you watch this trailer and you can't not smile. I mean, look, no one could have put Polka Dot Man and King Shark and all these Peacemaker and all these characters together, I think, except no one would have had the balls to do it except James Gunn. And to see the kind of irreverent tone and the disregard for loss of life and even dick jokes. I mean, it's a frothy mix, John, that I think that we all have to be excited about. And look, I found myself watching the trailer more than once because it was just funny. I thought it was hilarious. And I think that this is the kind of film that people want to see. I mean, especially coming off the year we've had seeing this kind of irreverent humor, and we already know James Gunn's delivering the goods on this kind of a level. And I think that the cast that he's put together, uh, I look, maybe I've set myself up for disappointment, but I have very high hopes for this movie. I'm much more interested in seeing it than I ever was. I think the trailer did a terrific job, and it doesn't surprise me. I'm sure, like me, like you probably, we watched the trailer more than once, and I showed it to Elizabeth. I'm like, this is pretty funny. Like, I want to see this movie. And Starro is in it. One of my favorite Justice League.
We got a freaking kaiju in here.
I didn't know anything about Starro being, but of course Starro. Starro is one of the wackiest villains the JLA have ever faced. I mean, come on. The fact that what's not in this movie?
Well, by the way, I'm seeing a little bit of confusion in the live chat. Like, remember, what James Gunn is saying here is that this is the most watched Red Band trailer. Some people are confusing us, saying, wait a minute, there have been R-rated movies that have had larger, R-rated movies, but not Red Band trailers. Those are two different things. So just make sure you understand that distinction. I guess the question is for you guys. What did you think about this news? Like, the Suicide Squad trailer is now the most viewed trailer, Red Band trailer in history, at least in its first week, which is when they count those numbers. Has it done anything for you? Do you think this speaks to how much people are looking forward to this? Yes or no? Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.